Hi, thanks for joining me. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about land subdivision in Kenya. Specifically today, I'll cover how to create access roads. You're watching Own Land in Kenya. I'm Solomon Wangwe. So the first thing you'll have to do when you're subdividing land in Kenya, presuming of course that you went to the Land Control Board, as I covered in a previous episode, and obtained the necessary permissions to do so, is create access to the newly subdivided plots. It's going to be part of your subdivision scheme when you decide how many pieces of land you want to create from the one you've purchased, is to create access to every individual one of the smaller pieces. So by law, if you're dealing with raw land that is agriculturally zoned, you're going to be required to create at least 9 meters wide for your access road. That's a policy requirement for anything within agricultural land. Most people sadly do not follow this policy, because what happens when you demarcate 9 meters for your width for your road, you tend to lose a little bit of land to the access road, which then becomes public property. It doesn't belong to you anymore at that point. I'll give you a quick example. As I mentioned before, I'm on location at our site in Nanyuki. I'm standing on an 11.5 acre piece of land that we had to subdivide into 1 acre plots. Each one of those plots measures about 0.404 hectares officially on the title deeds, which means we have lost 1.5 acres to the 12-meter wide road that we created. I hope you caught that. I said before that legally you have to create 9 meters of width for your access roads. Ours are 12 meters in width. So why do we do that? The main reason is because we're thinking about future value. At some point, after the subdivision is done and our neighbors about 500 meters behind me develop their golf resort and country homes estate, the county government will want to do all the road surfaces to a standard of finishing. They'll want to create drainage, which will typically go on the sides of the roads because the road now becomes public property. And ideally, you'll want the Kenya power people to come and install power lines to your property. Each one of those interventions by either the county government, the national government, or the power supply company will eat into a little bit of your space on the road, because that piece of land, the 12 meters wide or the 9 meters wide, is public land. So if you only demarcate 9 meters wide, which is what the law stipulates, and there's nothing wrong with that, chances are you'll only end up with about 5 to 6 meters in width once everything is fully developed at some point in the future. And that tends to create issues with accessibility. For example, if you're leaving your property and your neighbor is coming home, you might need to wait for your neighbor to pass before you can join the road. Is that really what you want for your future holiday home location? It's not what we want, and it's certainly not what we want for our customers. So what we do is demarcate an extra 3 meters over the 9 meter requirement by law, and we have 12 meter wide roads, as you can see behind me. That definitely guarantees your future valuation and makes your property much more desirable at some point when all the development is completed. I hope that information helps or makes sense to you. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to us, send us an email. You can check out our website, www.goshenacquisitions, where we have lots of information about this very piece of land. We have 30 1-acre pieces of land, only 500 meters from the proposed golf course, 4.5 kilometers from Olpejeta Conservancy. On my back right, on a fairly clear day, you'll see the stunning views of Mount Kenya, and we have the Loldaiga Hills. We're asking a mere 1.89 million shillings for a whole acre with 12 meter wide roads. Our neighbors 500 meters behind me are asking 3.5 million for half the size of land. So check out our website, share the information with those of your friends and family who might be interested in making an early and savvy investment, and we'll be happy to engage. You're watching Own Land in Kenya. I'm Solomon Wangwe. Stay tuned for more information on strategic land investment.